The SEC is turning up the heat. 13 charges filed against Binance and its CEO, CZ. Not even 24 hours later, Coinbase is also sued by the SEC for allegedly violating securities laws. Welcome back, everyone. Wow, looks like the SEC did like a whole year's worth of work yesterday, huh? They're dropping the hammer. Okay, let's dive into this. Let's take a look at this. I think that this is a lot more fear than anything else. I remember seeing this type of news back in 2018 as well. So let's take a look at this. Today we charged Binance Holdings, US-based affiliate BAM Trading Services, which together with Binance operates Binance.us, and their founder, Changpeng Zhao, with a variety of securities law violations. Okay, let's take a look at the SEC press release itself. Charges include operating unregistered exchanges, broker-dealers, and clearing agencies, misrepresenting trading controls and oversight on the Binance US platform, and the unregistered offer and sale of securities. The SEC alleges that while Zhao and Binance publicly claimed that the U.S. customers were restricted from transacting on Binance.com, Zhao and Binance in reality subverted their own controls to secretly allow high-value U.S. customers to continue trading on the Binance.com platform. Further, the SEC alleges that while Zhao and Binance publicly claimed that Binance US was created as a separate independent trading platform for US investors, Zhao and Binance secretly controlled the Binance US platform's operations behind the scenes. Oh, we're extremely surprised by this. I know everybody is. The SEC also alleges that Zhao and Binance exercise control of the platform's customers' assets, permitting them to commingle customer assets or divert customer assets as they please, including to an entity Zhao owned and controlled called Sigma Chain. Through 13 charges, we allege that Zhao and Binance entities engaged in an extensive web of deception, conflicts of interest, lack of disclosure, and calculated evasion of the law, said SEC Chair Gary Gensler. As alleged, Zhao and Binance misled investors about their risk controls and corrupted trading volumes while actively concealing who was operating the platform, the manipulative trading of its affiliated market maker, and even where and with whom investor funds and crypto assets were custodied. Okay, so I mean, this is one of those situations where Binance had created what is termed in some cases as a black box, which is you can see things go into the box, you can see things go out of the box, but you have no idea what is going on inside the box. So anyways, very interesting. The SEC's complaint alleges that Zhao and Binance created BAM Management and BAM Trading in September 2019 as part of an elaborate scheme to evade U.S. federal securities laws by claiming that BAM Trading operated the Binance U.S. platform independently and that U.S. customers were not able to use the Binance.com platform. The complaint alleges that in reality, Zhao and Binance maintained substantial involvement and control of the U.S. entity, and that behind the scenes, Zhao directed Binance to allow and conceal many high-value U.S. customers continued access to Binance.com. In one instance, and this is where they got that quote from, in one instance, the Binance chief compliance officer messaged a colleague that we are operating as a effing unlicensed securities exchange in the USA, bro. Oh, this is absolutely brutal, like a total cell phone. As if that wasn't enough. So here we go, guys. The block reported this at the same time. Solana, Polygon, Cardano, and other tokens are securities, says the SEC in Binance lawsuit. That's right. This was all part of the lawsuit. Oh, gosh, they're really dropping the hammer this time. Okay, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission today explicitly called 12 tokens securities in its lawsuit against Binance, its CEO CZ, and Binance US. All right, let's take a look at those tokens. These 12 tokens are BNB, which is Binance's own token, BUSD, which is Binance's USD stablecoin, Solana, Cardano, Polygon, okay, which is Matic, Filecoin, Cosmos Hub, The Sandbox, Decentraland, Algorand, Axie Infinity, and Cody. Now, I don't know much about every single one of these shitcoins. But what I think is absolutely hilarious is that Polygon is a layer 2 solution for Ethereum. So it's kind of funny that ETH's layer 2 is also being classified as a security. So ETH layer 1 was sold as and pitched as a security. Sorry, not sorry. Came out of Joe Lubin's own mouth. He's the one that explained it as an investment. Okay. And I just find this absolutely hilarious that the L2 shitcoin that was based off of ETH is also being classified as a security. But what's funny is ETH is not on this list. So the L2 on top of ETH is somehow being classified as a security, but yet the base layer of this thing is not, even though it was sold as one. I'll let you guys make what you want of that. Let's continue. Since the Binance platforms launched, defendants have made available for trading on them crypto assets that are offered and sold as investment contracts and thus as securities, the SEC said in the lawsuit regarding these 12 tokens, adding that the list is not exhaustive. So, ETH, you may not be on this list now, but you will end up on this list soon. The SEC did not name ETH as a security in the lawsuit. In April, SEC Chair Gary Gensler refused to say whether ETH, the second largest crypto by market cap, was a security during a nearly 5-hour hearing. Earlier this year, Gensler told New York Magazine that everything other than Bitcoin is a security. The SEC alleged in the lawsuit that Binance and affiliated companies repeatedly lied to customers and misdirected funds to a separate investment fund owned by Zhao in an echo of similar accusations against Binance's former rival FTX and its founder, Sam Bankman-Fried. Oh, wow. It's amazing how they all seem to play the same games. And it's essentially just it's a game of hot potato, right? So Sam was the first one to get burned. Now, here comes CZ. CZ's going to have his day in the sun. Obviously, this isn't very good for the quote unquote crypto space. To be perfectly honest, this is kind of what Bitcoiners have been telling you all along, right? It's that if these institutions can stop your shitcoin, which means it does not have the same qualities as Bitcoin, even though it's being sold to you as having those same qualities. So what happens is that if it doesn't actually have those qualities, the government and government agencies can stop it. And I have to say this over and over again because it seems that shitcoiners love to create their own fantasies. We don't champion the SEC. I'm not a fan of the SEC, but the point is that the technology that you're supporting, supposedly, this revolutionary, unstoppable technology, it's not. You're being lied to about it. And the evidence that you're being lied to about it is that a government entity can come in and shut it down and stop it. That's one of the major pieces of evidence of how you're being lied to. So all of these shitcoins are nothing like Bitcoin. And these government agencies are painfully going to prove it to everyone because they can stop your shitcoin. We don't like the government, but if they can stop your shitcoin, then your shitcoin ain't nothing like Bitcoin. Anyways. Now, speaking of shitcoiners, you got to hand it to the BSV supporters because they are always, as poorly as their affinity scam is going, right? As much as CSW has been debunked on repeated occasions as a fraud, the BSVers will never let an opportunity go unspoiled. So, in this whole entire piece on Binance, you didn't even hear me mention CSW, right? And you're thinking like, Phil, why the hell are you mentioning this now? Bless the BSVers' hearts. Here we go. Here's a stupid tweet from Calvin. Everyone who is involved in attacking Craig and his work is eventually proven to be involved in crimes. That's not true at all. That's not true. You're just a loser. Department of Justice is next to drop charges, likely RICO charges. Now, this is freaking hilarious, okay? And obviously, this is from another BSV supporter. Oh, wait, not just a BSV supporter. Let's go back. Look at that. Co-founder and chairman of nChain. Like a giant BSV circle jerk. Here we go. This is where it started. So CZ is being punished for attacking Craig Wright. and the real Bitcoin. These guys, I'm telling you, these people are huffing fucking glue. They really are. Okay, so anyways, here we go. This is where it started. And you can see this tweet is from 2019. Craig Wright is not Satoshi. Any more of this shit, we delist. You gotta love the mental gymnastics that the BSVers go through to try to make it seem as though their shit fork is somehow the real Bitcoin. Now, I'm sure that people have heard this before, but I always feel the need to re-explain this. BTC Bitcoin was the first one. And then Roger Ver, Jihan Wu, and Craig Wright forked off and made BCH. And then, of course, when you're dealing with a whole bunch of psychotic egos and losers, they're naturally going to argue and they are going to separate again. And then BSV, okay, is a fork of BCH. So I just want people to let that set in. These scammers that claim that they are using and promoting the real Bitcoin are actually promoting to you a fork that wasn't even from Bitcoin. It was a fork of BCH. These people are completely delusional. And to wrap this up, the icing on the cake, this was dropped. Actually, as I was doing the research for this story, I saw this from Bitcoin Magazine come out. Crypto exchange Coinbase is being sued by the SEC for alleged security law violations. So, and this was actually filed this morning in a New York courtroom. Now, look, the Coinbase news isn't new. We had covered this already. I believe it was last month that these types of proceedings had already started. It's the same thing with Binance, right? This is just the next step in that. Now, okay, what does this mean? Number one, it's most likely the reason why Bitcoin's fiat exchange price yesterday suddenly dropped into the 25K region. So buying opportunity for those that had some dry powder on the side. Hey, congrats. You get to pick some 25K BTC. But look, in the grand scheme of things, I don't really see a problem. I really don't see a problem. Look, the reality is that, and this is exactly what I said before. I mean, look, if these government institutions can stop your shitcoin, then I'm really sorry. Your shitcoin shouldn't be. I know you want the bags to pump, and I know you life-changing money, the Lambos, all that stuff. Of course, everybody wants this. Everybody wants this. But the reality is that if you're choosing to put your value behind an affinity scam, you are eventually going to get burned. Now, you hear me say the word affinity often, and you've heard me say the term affinity scam very often. But what is an affinity scam? An affinity scam is essentially, it's an imitation of the real thing. So it's this thing that claims to have all of the qualities and all of the same features, but it isn't and doesn't. Now, if that sounds familiar, that's because every shitcoin is an affinity scam of Bitcoin. Yep, that's right. I know, again, of course, that's painful to hear, especially when you're holding big bags of some crap that, you know, you read through and think, oh, this technology is definitely going to take over. No, it's not. It isn't. And look, this SEC action, I wouldn't consider this over. Do I think that it's a nothing burger? Somewhat, because shitcoins are irrelevant anyways. I do think it's a nothing burger in the grand scheme of things. I do think that regulation, even though I don't agree with it, I do think that sadly, because humans suck, we don't have a choice but to have some type of regulation in order to be able to, quote unquote, punish the bad actors. I think that's a whole other story, though, because really they're not being punished in most cases. That they're just paying a fine because, like our current banking system, it's just pay to play. So look, we'll see how this ends up. I'm glad I'm holding Bitcoin. I just get to watch the show. This is hilarious. Binance, you're wrecked. Coinbase, you're wrecked. BSV, you're not the real Bitcoin. You are perma-wrecked. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Help us fight the YouTube algorithm. And I will catch you all tomorrow.